Hello and welcome to my channel. So first thing, it is very windy today, so if you can hear the wind, I am very sorry about that. So today's video is going to be about whether King Charles II of England and Scotland married his mistress Lucy Walter. So King Charles II of England and Scotland was born on the 29th of May 1630. He was the son of King Charles I of England and Scotland and Henrietta Maria of France. In August 1642 the English Civil War started, and in 1646 the future Charles II went into exile. He first went to France, where his mother was living under the protection of King Louis XIV. He then went to The Hague, where his sister Mary lived with her husband William II, Prince of Orange. And it was while in The Hague that Charles met Lucy Walter. Lucy Walter was probably born in around 1630, and she was born in Roch Castle in Pembrokeshire, Wales. When she was 10 years old, Lucy's parents separated, so she went to London with her mother and brothers to live with their grandma. In 1647, the House of Lords ordered that Lucy and her brothers should go back to living with her father because her mother could no longer afford to keep them. A while later, Lucy went to The Hague, where she joined the exile court of Charles so that she could find a lover there. She was briefly the mistress of a man called Robert Sidney, but then she met Charles. Charles and Lucy met in the May of 1648. They were both around 18 years old at the time. Lucy gave birth to Charles's first illegitimate child, a son called James, on the 9th of April 1649. Charles's father, King Charles I, had been executed in the January of 1649, so Charles was actually now a king, except he didn't have a kingdom. So Lucy accompanied Charles wherever he went for a while until he left for Scotland, where he was crowned king there. So while Charles was away in Scotland, there was an attempt to kidnap their son James. So this kidnapping attempt almost worked. James did go missing for around 10 days, but he was soon found and Lucy took him to Paris to keep him safe. So Lucy was not exactly faithful to Charles. While in Paris, she had an affair with Theobald Taaffe, 2nd Viscount Taaffe, and had a daughter with him. King Charles soon returned back to The Hague, and there he told Lucy that their relationship was over, but Lucy did not want to believe this. She then spent the next few years getting involved in loads of scandals before considering marrying Henry de Vic. This didn't happen, so she became the mistress of Thomas Howard, who was the brother of James Howard, 3rd Earl of Suffolk. In 1656, Lucy was persuaded to go to England, but while she was there, she was imprisoned as a spy, but was released and deported back to the Dutch Republic. When Lucy got back to the Dutch Republic, she found out that Thomas Howard had left her and that King Charles II could not afford to pay her allowance. Charles wanted custody of their son James, so attempted to kidnap him, which he succeeded in doing in March 1658. Charles sent James to Paris and Lucy moved there after him. A while later, as Lucy lay dying of venereal disease, she made a confession to John Cosine, the future Bishop of Durham. She confessed to John that she and King Charles had actually married and that she had proof of this marriage. Lucy gave John all the proof of this marriage, which she put into a black box. This black box was then apparently inherited by John's son-in-law, Sir Gilbert Gerard, who was MP for Northallerton. So King Charles denied that he and Lucy had ever got married, even though some people did actually believe that they had. But that could have just been wishful thinking on their part, which I will get to later. So Sir Gilbert Gerard was summoned before the Privy Council in January 1678 and asked about this black box, to which he said he knew nothing about. He wasn't believed though and was actually turned out of his office. So King Charles II died in 1685, and because he and his wife Catherine of Braganza didn't have any children, the throne passed to Charles's younger brother James, who became King James II of England, 7th of Scotland. James was not liked mainly because he was a Catholic. So rumours started going around saying that Charles and Lucy had actually married and that their son James, who was now the Duke of Monmouth, was legitimate and therefore the rightful king. So believing this, Monmouth started a rebellion against his uncle James, trying to overthrow him. But he was defeated at the Battle of Sedgemoor on the 6th of July 1685. Monmouth fled the battlefield, but he was captured on the 8th of July and sentenced to death as a traitor. He was beheaded on Tower Hill on the 15th of July 1685. So it wasn't a clean beheading according to different people. It took between 5 and 8 blows to actually sever his head. But even then the head hadn't severed properly, so the executioner swapped his axe for a knife to finish off the job. So King James also allowed an audience to watch his nephew's execution, which was not really normal at the time, because the only time the monarch would allow an audience to watch the execution of nobility was when they planned on pardoning said nobility. So King James did not stay on the throne for long. In 1688, his eldest daughter Mary and her husband William of Orange deposed James in the Glorious Revolution and became co-monarchs. So did King Charles II and Lucy Walter actually marry? Probably not. To be honest, we don't actually even know that Lucy definitely made this confession that they did. The black box has never been produced, and the evidence that was apparently inside the black box has never been produced either. It could have just all been made up to discredit both kings due to anti-Catholic feelings. Charles II's wife Catherine was actually a Catholic, and then of course King James II was a Catholic as well. So anyway, what do you think? Did King Charles marry Lucy Walter, or was it just all made up? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.